What's up, everybody? Rui Hachimura is back in the DMV. But the Washington Wizards lose to the Lakers tonight, 125-120. So we're going to talk about how we lost this game and what impact Rui had in the DMV, and then get in the comments like we always do. Next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Scott again with my guy, the real Ed Oliver. And we both appreciate you guys making Locked On Wizards your first listen every single day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $200 if your bet wins. All you got to do is visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. So, the Wizards hard-fought game, but they ultimately lose 125-120. Rui Hachimura back in the flesh for the first time in the DMV. So, real quick, looking at it, we knew that Anthony Davis was going to come in and do whatever he wanted to do. One center, obviously, was John Holmes and Bagley out with injuries. So, Davis, 35 points. We lost the battle rebounds, 53-42, including 11 offensive rebounds, which led to 60 points in the paint for the Lakers and 18 second chance points. But we also committed 18 turnovers, which led to 29 points off of turnovers. So what lost the game tonight, E? Was it the points off turnovers or the second chance points? Or was it just the Anthony Davis sprinkling in with a little bit of the refs?
It was a combination, man. They actually came back and cut it to, it was like 3 or 4 with that zone. They made a good run. Kuzma hit a couple shots. Jordan Poole had a really good game, scoring the ball with 29. So they did cut it down to attainable to catch up for sure. And then LeBron started getting to the paint again. AD started getting to the paint, just dominating in that fourth quarter and some of that third quarter. And then there was a point towards the end of the game where they took their starters out. LeBron sat down, AD sat down, Rui sat down, and then Jared Butler and Champagnie came in and hit a couple threes, and then they brought Rui back in and LeBron and AD back in. And Jared Butler, we were down by 5. Let me pull up the play-by-play here. We were down by 5, and then he got blocked, and that basically ended the game. But, there was a point in the fourth quarter where with 6 minutes left, we were down 107-105. So it was a really close game with 6 minutes to go. We were down by 4, 109-105 with 6 minutes to go. And then the Lakers went on a run where Anthony Davis made 2 free throws. Then he had a dunk. And then LeBron made 1 free throw, missed the second one, and Austin Reeves made a 3. Then they go up 117-105. So the Lakers, they struggled against the zone. So Brian Keefe, Coach Chief Keefe, made an adjustment to go zone. It worked for a little bit in the fourth quarter. We came back, and then they started to, get into the middle of the paint, and they basically started to beat the zone, and they went up 117-100. They actually went up 119-105, 121-107 at one point, and they sealed the deal there. But yeah, AD, the Wizards, they started off hot. We hit a bunch of threes. We actually went up by 10 in that first quarter. Kuzma started off hot. Jordan Poole started off hot. Corey Kispert hit a couple threes to start the game off. And then AD, he started to dominate. Then he got hurt, went out the game, came back in. But AD, looking at the free throws, it was just ridiculous. It was. I know you brought up the free throws. He shot, what was he from the free throw line? He didn't miss a free throw. He didn't miss a free throw tonight. He was 15 for 15 from the free throw line tonight, which is good on his part. But it's just insane that he shot more free throws than the Wizards did as a team. He shot 15 free throws alone. The Wizards shot 13. And honestly, I'm not blaming the refs at all. The Lakers, they just have more talent. This is a game where the Lakers were supposed to come in and win. But the refs, the fact that they had to even review the flagrant one on LeBron where he elbows Deni in the head and gives him a migraine. It was almost like he had a bounty on Deni. I thought it was just ridiculous, the fact that they had to even go and review it. Because at first they said it was just a foul on Deni. Then they had to go back and look at it. And then they changed it to a flagrant one. So, yeah, I'm not taking anything from the Lakers. They're a talented team. D'Angelo Russell, he was hot. He started off hot. Austin Reeves is talented. He had a good game. Rui, of course, had a good game. He played well with 19 points. And Anthony Davis, I said this last night, FanDuel, PrizePicks, whatever you use, take the over on Anthony Davis's points, and he ended up with 35. His over-under was like 24.5 on FanDuel. I think on PrizePicks was like 25. Either one, he cleared it by at least 10 points. And LeBron kind of looked like he wasn't even going 100% at times, but he ended up with 25 points and 9 assists. So, they're a team that they saw what happened last night with the Bucks, and they made sure that they did not get, I guess a trap game or whatever. Like, we beat the Heat, we beat the Bucks, and we've beaten a couple teams, but there's a lot of positives to take away from this game. Jordan Poole played well. Vucevic, once again, has another good game. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Tristan with 15 points. Kuzma with a double-double. Corey with 17. Jordan Poole with 29. Justin Champagnie came in, had 13. But, just to see a second-round pick to come in and play well, man, it's just awesome to see that because we just don't see a lot from our second-round picks coming from Yannick Zosa and Yusuf Sinan, Cassius Winston, and Aaron White. We just haven't seen anything from those guys. So it's just to see production from Vucevic is awesome to see 3 threes, and him going up against Anthony Davis for his first start is a tough. That's a tough first start. Okay. That's a tough first start. So kudos to him. Johnny Davis out tonight with a knee injury. I wish him a speedy recovery, and hopefully he can play the last couple of games of the year and try to get something from him. And Jared Butler with another good game with 9.7 assists. But I thought they played hard. Once again, I didn't expect them to win this game. But just offensive rebounds hurt. Anthony Davis, LeBron, they're just more talented.
I'm with you on that, man. I mean, obviously a clear talent gap, but I mean, I'm not gonna blame the refs, man. But he shouldn't have thrown out the game, in my opinion. I mean, come on, man. Like there was no reason for him to do that, and we know how it is with the refs in the league. LeBron James, obviously the face of the league. He gets that treatment, so. It is what it is. Oh, shout out to my man Kevin Quinn. Absolutely, man. I had to go bald, man. Haircuts are too expensive these days, man. But so we know he's gonna get the star treatment. So it is what it is. But I felt like it was unnecessary. Look, you can't play with concussions, man. I mean, you just can't. You hear more about it in football and jobs where injuries to your head are more common. So you just hopefully you speedy recovery for him. Johnny Davis, like you said, but they played a hard game. They played a hard game against a team where they have aspirations for playing, but looking at the starting five for the Wiz kids, Jordan Poole, 29 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 10 for 19 from the field, 5 for 9 from 3, 4 for 4 from free throw, 2 steals, only 3 turnovers, only 1 foul. Again, a really, really good game from the point guard, Jordan Poole. Love what I see from that man, and definitely want to see him in the season with some momentum. And look, we'll see what we have with him next year, man. Whether if he has value to move, I don't think they're gonna move him, but look, he's been playing some good basketball at point guard position. Corey Kispert, 17 points, 7 for 10 for the field, 3 for 4 from 3. So not a bad night from him. 4 turnovers, kind of out of the norm for Kispert, but it's all good. Deni Avdija, look, only 21 minutes, obviously with the elbow to the head. 7 points. He was playing decent up to that point. So obviously, hopefully, it's not. Like I said, you can't play with concussions, man. I've been through my fair share of concussions, and they are not fun. Kyle Kuzma, 38 minutes, 17 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 7 for 16. So his shot wasn't necessarily dropping, 2 for 5 from 3 off shooting night, but 1 steal, 1 block. He had his moments, 4 turnovers. So he had his moments, but not bad. Tristan Vucevic, look, man, it is so refreshing to finally hit on a second-round pick. Like, we have a second-round pick that not only showed up, but it's providing some quality minutes. You know what I mean? Like, Vucevic can play some ball. He's a baller, man. So if we can work on that defense, man, put a little more dog into him, man, we definitely hit on the second-round pick. I mean, in only 20 minutes, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, only 1 turnover. Fouls, but look, the assignment, and Anthony Davis, man, it's a hard assignment. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 for 9 for the field, 3 for 6 from 3. So again, it's refreshing to have more than one center on the roster who can expand his range. Obviously Bagley can hit 3 points, but Vucevic, man, he's got a nice shot and he can definitely spread the floor. Looking at the second unit, man, Butler again, shot. I mean, he's not too bad. 9 points, but 7 assists. So he did what he could on the second unit, included 1 block and 3 steals, man. Anthony Gill, he's been providing quality minutes. Not his best showing, but it wasn't bad. 6 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 for 7 for the field. So not bad. Justin Champagnie, 18 minutes, but 13 points, 7 rebounds, 5 for 8 for the field, 3 for 5 from 3. So, he's been providing good points and minutes off the bench. Eugene kind of gearing up from injury, 10 minutes, but 4 points, 2 rebounds. And Patrick Baldwin Jr., PBJ, only 10 minutes played, but 3 points. So obviously he's got to find other ways getting involved. But, 10 minutes, we'll take it. So overall, they fought hard. Yeah, there's a talent gap. Yeah, the refs kind of a little soft on LeBron. I'm just going to be honest with you, because there was some questionable calls, man. That fourth quarter, there was a move where LeBron pushed Kuz, and Kuz was like, what do I got to do to get a foul, man? And then the next play, they called it on Kuz. So we know what it is. Superstars, teams like the Lakers, who, like the Celtics have that following where it is what it is, man. You get the star treatment. So I'm not gonna blame the refs, but very close game. And it goes back to culture, right? Playing hard, playing to win. And you're seeing that with this team under interim head coach Ryan Keefe. You see them responding to him. They're playing hard. No white flag, no slouching, no, complaining. Look, they're playing hard and trying to win. And, beat the Bucks. Look, I'm trying to tell you, it was a really good win. And then they really challenged a team like the Lakers. Like I said, they have playoff/playing aspirations. So we're going to get to, could Rui Hachimura and Deni Avila have coexisted after all, or was a trade best for both parties? So we're going to get into that and then comments. But before we do, today's episode is brought to you by Amazon Fire TV. Fire TV is destination for sports, from live games to highlights to in-depth analysis. Fire TV offers amazing viewing experiences with smart TVs, as well as the Fire TV stick that you can plug into your existing TV. That provides access to millions of movies and TV episodes, as well as free and live TV. Whether it's opening weekend for baseball or college basketball tournament, you're going to want to have a Fire TV. Fire TV recently created Fire TV channels to deliver a constant supply of the latest videos from your favorite sports brands, all for free, y'all. That includes all of us at Locked On and most of the big pro leagues and college conferences as well. Fire TV channels lets you dive into all of the game analysis, highlights, and more to keep up to date on all the latest in the world of sports. March Madness, the NBA, Major League Baseball opening week, and lots more. Not to mention great news, entertainment, gaming, travel, cooking videos as well. Check out Fire TV channels on Fire TV and Alexa devices. If you haven't checked out Fire TV channels, you should. Trust me on this, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. To learn more, all you got to do is visit www.amazon.com/LockedOnFireTV. Tonight's episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. The sports calendar is loaded, and FanDuel is making it even more exciting to get in on the action. Because right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $200 you can use to bet the tournament, Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NHL, and so much more, y'all. So visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn and make your first bet a big win. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Are you watching sports, Fox Sports or ESPN on your TV all day? Had to turn on the volume with all of that shouting? Lord have mercy. Make the switch to Locked On Sports Today, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel program for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming, man. Locked On Sports Today brings you canvas analysis, opinions, and news streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. Part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. So, my question for you is, Rui Hachimura back in the DMV first time. Could they have coexisted after all with proper time and development? Or do you, in kind of hindsight, do you see this trade as really the best case scenario for both of these guys to kind of, as far as individually, to prosper?
Oh, good question, man. I know Tommy Shepard, his explanation was that he traded Rui so Deni could get more opportunities and get more playing time. And even when that did happen, he still ended up with really the same amount of minutes after Rui got traded. He did have the turbo week, and then after that, he kind of went back to kind of the way that Deni was playing before. So I do think they could have coexisted. There were some games where they played well. There was some lineups where him, Kuz, Deni, Kuz, and Rui played really, really well together. They played really, really well off of each other. And I thought they definitely could have coexisted. But seeing the way that Deni is playing now, kind of getting some of the keys sometimes when Kuzma's out or even when Kuzma's there, he definitely has developed more. And Rui, seeing him on the Lakers, playing with LeBron and playing with AD, you saw what he did last year in the playoffs against the Grizzlies. Like, he really blossomed and was able to showcase how good of a scorer he is on a national stage. So he's got more of a spotlight. He's got more popularity now with LA. But I think they could have coexisted. I think they could have played pretty well together. I don't think they really needed to trade one or the other, especially the trade that, we got back in return. I see some of the comments talking about how Kendrick Nunn is not in, and he's not even in the NBA right now. I think he's playing for the Shanghai Sharks, the Going Dong Tigers or something like that. So we traded him for second round picks. We traded Rui for second round picks and a guy that's not even in the league anymore. So that just, it stings thinking about that. I rather would have kept him rather than trading Rui for that, and especially the contract that Rui got. I thought Rui got a reasonable contract. I think Deni got a reasonable contract. I think both those guys being here wouldn't have really hurt the team financially either. That's the unfortunate thing. So just looking back at it, it just brings back terrible memories of that trade. But I think they definitely could have coexisted together. I think Corey as well. And it's kind of funny now. You look at it, and people talk about how bad of a drafter Tommy Shepard was.
Yeah.
I think some of his drafts were actually pretty good. Corey Kisper's turned out to be a good player. Denny's turned out to be a darn good player. Rui is a darn good player. I think the only guy that you can say is a huge miss, or I'm not going to, I'm going to be nice to Johnny, or a pick that just hasn't really, blossomed or shown much promise or potential really is the Johnny Davis pick out of all of them. All these guys, they're not home runs. They're good players.
Yeah.
Of course, you can be like, oh, they should have drafted Halliburton over Deni, or Tyrese Maxey over Rui, or Sengun over Corey Kispert. But at the end of the day, all these guys they're good players. They're darn good players. So I think Tommy actually made a couple good decisions as far as drafting some players. I think he drafted some good players.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that, he definitely hit on the draft picks, but we kind of talked about this before, man, where at the time we needed draft picks to come in and play right away to contribute.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And these guys needed to develop. And in hindsight, with proper development, they all look like solid starting. I mean, they're playing good ball. I mean, could they have coexisted? I'm going to say yes and no. Reason why I say yes is that, I definitely think that at times they played well together. I mean, they're two different players. Obviously, Rui was an offensive-minded guy, where defense was kind of the area where he kind of needed to work on, and vice versa. Deni came into the league as a defensive guy, where his offense, needed to be fine-tuned. And he always had the vision, but, the offense needed to be fine-tuned. So I definitely thought they could coexist. But I think to get the best out of them individually, they had to have most of the attention as far as development. Trying to develop both of them. And the thing is, development hasn't always been the forte for the Wizards. You know what I mean? So we always talk about, how many players came here and whether they would succeeded or not. And the answer is, like you said, the Deni versus Tyrese Halliburton. And, it's easy to say, okay, yeah, Tyrese Halliburton, with his skill set, the all-star. But would he have still developed the way he did with Sacramento and Indiana, the way in DC like he did there? And it's really tough to say that. So in hindsight, really to a certain degree, Deni was probably the better pick because of where we're at heading into a rebuild. Because I think that a lot of us knew eventually we're going to get to a rebuild. So, I like Rui, man. Big Rui fan. Like I said, I got Deni and Rui in the closet, man. So both of them are, really good, solid players, man. And it just seems like every time a guy leaves, he has a better career somewhere else. Like, Rui's really shining in LA. Then you look at Daniel Gafford. I mean, he's playing at a high level. Dallas is like, we got to start building these guys up that have, play well here. And I think we're, definitely heading in the right direction because we do have a nice foundation as far as young players. Corey Kispert stepped up this year big time. Deni got paid. So, Bilal looks like he's going to be a monster, man. And, Jordan Poole, only 24. So we'll see what we have in him, whether he's a trade asset or if he's going to be. And I'm looking at these guys. y'all tripping me out, man. I know y'all appreciate the cut, man. I definitely appreciate it, man. But I mean, I think they could coexist. Tommy Shepard, I think the Rui trade is what cost him his job because we got very little in return, man. I mean, Kendrick Nunn, I don't even think we know where he's at. I mean, he's probably playing the same league as Yannick Zosa, man. So, I mean, I don't know where they're at. Somewhere in Tasmania. I don't know. But, long answer, cut short. I think they could have coexisted. It's just, we know the MO with the Wizards when it comes to development. So, could we have developed both of them and gave both of them the proper attention for them to develop right? We'll see. But it was refreshing to see Rui back in DC. Obviously, he played good ball here, but, we got to move forward. And, Deni's part of the future here, man. So definitely wish Rui the best of luck and blessings in the City of Angels. So we're going to get into comments next. But before we do, he's going to talk to us about Robinhood.
Yeah, so right now Kendrick Nunn. Oh, before I do that, Kendrick Nunn, he's playing for Panathinaikos, also known simply as Panathinaikos. Currently is known as it's a professional basketball team of the major Athens-based multi-sport club. It's owned by a billionaire, of course. Well, everything is always owned by a billionaire, but that's where he is. He's in the Athens league. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the thing is another thing is it's kind of like, I mean, GMs aren't going to really listen to the fans anyway. Yeah. But it was like a civil war almost, or like in the Wizards fan base war, or kind of like Deni fans versus Rui fans, or Deni fans really, really disliked Rui for whatever reason. And you brought up the defense thing. Like Deni struggled offensively at one point, but he was a good defender. And then Rui was a terrible defender, but he was a good offensive player. And then, some people said that he was selfish. He didn't pass the ball and stuff like that. So they were kind of like the opposite of each other. One was good on offense, one was good on defense. Now Deni has really developed his offensive game. So I would love to see this version of Deni and this version of Rui play together. That would have been fun to see. But there are some parts where, like you said, that, maybe there were some times where one guy needed to leave, where one guy could blossom and get more playing time. And that's what Tommy Shepard was trying to say. Now this year, Denny's a star. Deni started last year too, but Denny's a starter. He's getting the ball more. He's getting more shots, and it's really on Deni too. Denny's just being more aggressive. He's just finishing better, and that had nothing to do with Rui. He's just playing better. He's shooting the ball better. Yeah. Well, he's become a better offensive player on his own development, his own shooting coach this time. Shout out to what was the Bradley Bills shooting coach who worked for Deni, but Deni just didn't do well when he was training him.
Yeah.
I forgot the guy's name, but I think you know who I'm talking about. So he found the right trainer. He's shooting the three better. He stayed here in DC instead of going and playing FIBA. He's done the things the team has asked him to do. Basically, I'm getting that. Deni on his own has played better. Whether Rui's here or not, Deni's just improved on his own. But yeah, we'll get to the break here, and then we'll get to some comments. There's a couple good amount of comments tonight, so we're gonna get to that real quick. But before we do, today's episode is brought to you by Robinhood. Did you know that even if you have a 401k retirement, you can still have an IRA? Robinhood has the only IRA that gives you a 3% boost on every dollar you contribute when you subscribe to Robinhood Gold. But get this, now through April 30th, Robinhood is even boosting every single dollar you transfer in from other retirement accounts with a 3% match. That's right, no cap on the 3% match. Robinhood Gold gets you the most for your retirement thanks to their IRA with a 3% match. This offer is good through April 30th. Get started at Robinhood.com/boost. Subscription fees apply. And now for some legal info. Claim as of Q1 2024 validated by Radius Global Market Research. Investing involves risk, including loss. Limitations apply to IRAs and 401ks. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold for 1 year from the date of first 3% match. Must keep Robinhood IRA for 5 years. The 3% matching on transfers is subject to specific terms and conditions. Robinhood IRA available to U.S. customers in good standing. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC is a registered broker dealer. All right, let's get into some of these comments here. Good amount of comments here. We got 51 people in the chat. Israel Teague says no Deni, no defense. I'll say this: Deni. A lot of people are saying Deni regressed this year defensively because he's been better offensively. But, I think, just the fact that you don't have any bigs. I mean, you have Vucevic, who's a big, but he's not known for his defense. He's still learning the game. He's a rookie, so he's not going to come in and stop Anthony Davis. It's just not going to happen. And, we got to get some more big men in there. We got to get some more defensive. There's a lot we got to get, so we got to get some more defensive minded guys and just a lot of guys. I mean, it's a rebuild, it's a recalibration, so there's a lot of improvement to the personnel. So I wouldn't just say just because Denny's not in there's no defense. Johnny Davis too, he plays hard. I know we give him a hard time, but he plays pretty hard defensively. He gives a lot of effort too. And they waived DeLon Wright. So the defense has improved a little bit under Brian Keefe, and that's a big part of why we've won. But Deni being out does hurt. It does hurt. It did hurt them tonight. It did.
Oh yeah, I mean, Deni being out, Bilal being out has hurt the team.
Bilal as well,
because our two best defenders. I mean, DeLon Wright not being on the team. He was a good defender on the second unit. Gafford. there's a lot of factors. He's taken a small step back, but he's taking huge steps forward offensively. So I think the biggest goal for Deni going forward is really piecing his offensive and his defensive side and becoming a complete player and finding consistency overall. But I think he will be all right. But yeah, I'm with you. I agree on all points, man.
Mm-hmm.
See.
Ed, who has Bilal's face as his profile picture. It's a cool name there, Ed. But he says apparently Drew Gooden said this year is Deni's best defensive rating. Yeah, I gotta look at the stats. I gotta look at the numbers and see if that's accurate. But hey, we'll see. I'll definitely look that up for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't think he took a massive step back. It's just I think that his offense is kind of overshadowing his defense this year.
Mm-hmm. Deshaun says the Wizards have their best first-round rookie since Bradley Beal and their best second-round rookie ever in the same draft. Let Dawkins cook. I'm trying to look at the history of our second-round picks and just see like if anybody for the Wizards in the second round has made any impact on the team like whatsoever.
Yeah, it's been a while.
In like the last 15, 20 years. Honestly, like, I don't think there's been a second-round pick that has got much playing time and really contributed at all. Tomas Satoransky, that's the last second-round pick in 2012. He's the last guy that I'm looking it up right now. He's the last second-round pick that ever got any meaningful playing time and that contributed to a couple wins. Other than that, it's really nobody at all. Dominic McGuire was a second-round pick. He didn't do much. Peter John Ramos, Steve Blake was a second-round pick. He had a couple good seasons. He was solid. But even Tristan Vucevic coming in right now, he looks like Jahadi White. He was a second-round pick. So I'm going all the way back to 1998. He was a good player. He was a good contributor for sure. And other than that, George Mirasan. But like I said, I'm going 20 years back now.
Oh,
just to name some names. The George Mirasan. So I got to go that far back to bring up players that were contributors that were second-round picks for the Wizards.
Nah, I agree with you, man. Like you said, you gotta give respect and criticism where it's due, man. And yeah, you can look at the draft and say, all right, Gigi Jackson and this and that. But Vucevic, man, look, it's not too shabby. I mean, he can play the ball. Definitely a really good pick in the second round. And Bilal, I mean, his defense is already there. Just it's going to be very intriguing to see how his offense comes along. But he's got the intangibles to be good. So yeah, give respect to where it's due. They definitely hit on the draft picks from the previous draft, man.
Mm-hmm. I got to go back to 1985, Manute Bol as well. He was a second-round pick.
Lord, I was born 85. Man, you go way back. Lord.
I got to go all the way back to find a second-round pick that contributed. But, I mean, Bilal has played well. He's had a solid rookie season, and Vucevic has only been here for a couple of games, and he's scoring on Anthony Davis. He's scoring on Giannis. He's scoring on Brook Lopez. A big thing is that he's not scared of the moment. He's not a deer in the headlights. He's a guy you're not going to have to fix his shot. He's coming in ready to shoot the three. He's ready to come in and shoot the three. Not scared of the lights or anything like that. Big games, big teams that he's played against, teams that have big playoff finals experience, won championships. Lakers won a championship in 2020. The Bucks won a championship not too long ago. So I love that. And he's got a lot of confidence too. I love that from him.
Look, man, the NBA is an international league, man. I mean, I'm saying these players from overseas are on their way. And they have the fundamentals. They have the work ethic. They are on their way. And it shows, man, because, the opinion 15, 20 years ago was, European guys were shooters. It's not the case anymore, and you guys are coming in from overseas and they're coming in ready to contribute, man. So, that's the thing I love about the NBA and this basketball period, man. It's an international league. And I think the only sport that can come close to soccer as far as international outreach. You just see a lot of talent coming in ready to play. So, it's refreshing again to have a second round pick to come in and contribute really good minutes for this team. So, let's see. Playing opposites. Says it's ridiculous how AD has attempted more free throws than the entire Wizards active roster. Yeah, right. That is crazy.
Right, it was. And Locked On Law says NBA has been playing favorites with the foul since 1979. Expletive U. He says, "Forget you, David Stern." Basically, so.
I mean, Yes and no. I'll say this, man. Have you ever watched Jordan go to Detroit and play the Pistons, bad boy Pistons, man? There wasn't a lot of favoritism with that, man. They were knocking him to the floor every night. So I would say since 79, I would say since 2003, in my honest opinion. From that draft class forward, man, the draft class with LeBron, Carmelo, D Wade, man, because you have so many superstars. And I get it. If you look at it from a league perspective in a business decision, they're trying to safeguard their superstars in the face, and I get that, man. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, foul's a foul. And looking at the Deni, look, Denny's went out of the game for a reason. He's probably got a concussion, man. I mean, and I didn't think that move was necessary. So
right.
I thought he should have been kicked out of the game, in my opinion, because I mean, look, Ron Artest did the similar thing where I guess Ron Artest was a little more. I mean, he way back to hit him.
Yeah, meta.
Meta world peace. Yeah, so. But we know what it is, man. Superstar, and you're gonna get superstar treatment. So it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. Tim Donaghy, he was found. He came up with a documentary where he made calls for the Lakers when they had Shaq and Kobe, and they wouldn't call travel Michael Jordan. So yeah, it's been happening forever and ever, for sure.
Yeah, that was the year that the Sacramento Kings was supposed to beat the Lakers, man.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Playing opposites. We'll probably read one more because we gotta guess No Breaks News coming on the show tomorrow night, so we'll probably save some of the comments on here for him. William Lee's got jokes. He said Johnny was out with a skills injury. He was actually out, but the injury updates Marvin Bagley. He's going to be week to week. I mean, the season's over, so he probably will not play again. Johnny, I saw his injury on the report. I forgot what it was exactly. But he was out tonight. Like I said, this would be a great opportunity for him to play and get some playing time for these last couple games. But if he's injured, then it's unfortunate. It is what it is. I guess we'll see him in the summer league. He definitely has to play in the summer league. He doesn't have a choice. So, that might be the next time we see Johnny Davis.
Yeah, I think there's can third-year guys play the summer league?
Oh, yeah, everybody. Because I remember Adam Morrison. He was in the league for a long time. Michael Beasley just played in the summer league. A lot of guys who, a lot of veterans have played in the summer league.
Okay. Wow, Michael Beasley, man. Go way back.
Yeah, I know. Michael Beasley.
Man, and who, by the way, is from the DMV. So,
right, that is true. That is a fact.
So do one more, man.
We would have won this game if Johnny Davis played. So yeah, 50% pains, making a couple jokes here. But I guess when we right, I guess we get a couple comments from Brandon. William Lee says Brandon looks like a bald eagle, just playing, bro. Fred Fizo says I miss his hat, especially now.
Come on now.
50% pain says Brandon looks like Shaba from System of a Down. Now, if you guys are not watching on YouTube, you guys listen on the podcast version. Brandon got a haircut, so if you do want to see, definitely check out the YouTube version for sure.
Absolutely. I appreciate the love, y'all. Had to do something, man. I can't be paying $40 for haircuts anymore, man.
Right.
So I had to bring it down low.
Right. William Lee says, Brandon, why didn't you give us a heads up?
Nice.
And then a shout out to Crystal Scott. She says, hey, all great episode as always.
Oh, appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Let me see if there's any more. A lot of stuff about Tommy Shepard, of course, but we'll probably talk about that tomorrow night. I do see No Breaks New in the chat as well. Oh, Armand, yeah, he said we also hit the side of a backboard on an open thread. I guess that was a tribute to the Wizards. I don't know if he got a tribute tonight. He probably did get a tribute. Everybody gets a tribute. So if Bertans gets a tribute, I think he deserves a tribute. Dinwiddie did play tonight. He actually almost lost the game. He had a turnover at the end and took a bad shot. That's how he caught up, and that's why LeBron had to come back in the game. There was a play where Austin Reeves shot a three, hit it off the backboard. He missed, but he got his offensive rebound. So some of it tonight was, I'm not gonna say effort, but just offensive rebounds. They definitely need to rebound. They have rebounded a lot better than what they did in the beginning of the year for sure.
Oh, Dinwiddie. Well, he scored like 4 points.
Dinwiddie, how much did he have? He had 4 points.
There you go.
Right. But we're gonna talk about some more stuff tomorrow. Like, this is a good question from Dan. He says, "What's your take on the coach next season?" I heard Brandon say it before, but I think we should take a strong look at Juwan Howard. His grit and grim as a coach would be contagious. So that's a good question to talk about tomorrow. So Jack said, "Nah, you guys were real haters when it comes to Rui." That's not true at all. We supported Rui a lot, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that tomorrow as well. We definitely were some big supporters for Rui. Somebody said ain't no half. Stefan says Blatch was the second round. He was a solid second round pick. He wasn't bad. He was good.
Yeah,
he was good.
Yeah.
Somebody said Dominic McGuire. He was a little iffy. And then Dan, yes. Adam Moore. Yes, Adam Morrison played. Michael Beasley played in the summer league. He was those are a couple of veterans that played in the summer league for sure that I can remember.
Yeah. So before we roll, shout out to New Breaks New. He will be on the show as our guest tomorrow night at 8. So definitely check out his podcast, man. Definitely must see TV. So again, check that out for tomorrow at 8. And we will both be at the game Friday for the Trail Blazers. So definitely going to give you guys some news at the press conference and go from there, man. So again, appreciate you guys. We got 50 people in the chat. So again, appreciate you guys rocking with us tonight. So Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. And that's also available on Amazon Fire TV and the free Fire TV channels app. All the Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with a look at experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available on the free Fire TV channels app. So again, appreciate you guys, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8. And hail to the Wizards and peace. See you guys next time.